Okay, so we live in this world that's just completely flooded with information, right?
Absolutely, it's everywhere.
And it can feel, a bit much sometimes trying to figure out what actually matters, what the key takeaways are.
hmm Cutting through the noise.
Exactly. And that's really what we try to do here on the Deep Dive. We take the sources you give us and, well, we boil them down.
Think of it like your shortcut to understanding. We wade through it so you can get the core ideas without getting totally lost.
And today we're jumping into something really interesting, actually, based on some audio clips a listener sent over.
Oh,
Our focus isn't just like learn English. It's more about understanding English as a tool, a really powerful one for achieving, well, bigger goals in your life.
right. Not just the language, but what the language does for you.
Precisely. And the sources had this great mix of perspectives, didn't they? Some really personal stories about why people learn it.
Yeah. Alongside the bigger picture stuff, it's global role, practical learning tips, quite a range.
So, our mission today, to give you a really clear picture of why English matters so much and some solid, actionable ways to approach learning it, all straight from these experiences in the audio.
Okay, let's get into it.
Right. So, this central idea that kept coming up, English as a vehicle, not a destination, what's really at the heart of that metaphor?
Well, it's quite a fundamental shift, isn't it? Instead of seeing like a perfect fluency as the finish line,
Hmm.
the sources are saying, no, it's the means to get somewhere else. We actually heard it put just like that. English is a vehicle, not a destination.
Okay.
And also, learning English should not be an end, should be a means towards a greater goal. So it's moving from just mastery to mastery for a reason. And that reason gives you the real drive.
That clicks. It's like you don't just own a car to polish it in the garage, right?
Yeah.
You own it for where it can take you. And the audio really stressed finding your own destination. What sorts of goals came up?
Oh, a whole bunch of really practical ones. For some people, it was straight up job requirements, needing both French and English, for example.
Right. Immediate career need.
Yeah. It frames English as like a vital professional tool right there.
And then there was the academic angle, using English to study
Yeah.
access courses.
Definitely. Opening doors to education globally. And related to that, just the sheer volume of knowledge that becomes available.
Okay, tell me more about that.
Well, this statistic was quite something. Apparently 60% of all online content is in English.
Wow. Really? 60.
Yeah. And compare that, French is maybe 4%, other languages even less. Just think about that access. Learning English isn't just language skills, it's unlocking like more than half the internet's knowledge base.
That really puts it into perspective. No other language comes close to that kind of reach.
Not even remotely.
And it's not just about reading stuff online, is it? The audio also hammered home English as the language of business.
Oh, absolutely. One speaker put it very bluntly. English has become a global language. It's the business language. If you don't speak English, you're left behind.
Stark, but probably true for many fields.
It reflects the reality in many international sectors, yeah.
Okay, so English is this super useful vehicle, takes you to jobs, knowledge, connects you globally. But, and this is for many, there's this hurdle, the fear of messing up, making mistakes.
Ah, yes. The fear factor. This came up specifically regarding French speakers, apparently. But it's universal, isn't it?
Totally.
This pressure to be perfect can really freeze people up. But the message from the audio was so positive about this. Like, mistakes are proofs that you are making progress, you are learning.
I like that framing. Proof of progress.
Yeah. And also, just mistakes are part of the journey. Simple as that. It's expected. It's normal.
And there was that little story about native English speakers trying French and making loads of errors, too.
Right. It sort of levels the playing field mentally.
Yeah.
Everyone struggles when learning something new.
It's a good reminder.
And the core idea that came through so strongly was, what's the point of language? It's communication.
Right.
Someone was quoted saying, the most important thing is communication. When you say something, do I understand? Fine. Do you understand? Fine. The rest is secondary.
That feels liberating, actually. Takes the pressure off nailing every single grammatical point or having a perfect accent.
Exactly. Focus on getting the message across. Can you make yourself understood? Great. Can you understand them? Great. That's the win.
Okay, so if we accept mistakes are, part of the deal, even helpful, what practical things did the sources suggest for actually getting better? What can listeners actually do?
Lots of concrete stuff, actually. One really simple one. Change your phone language, your computer language. Switch it all to English.
Ah, immersion by default.
Pretty much. You're just surrounded by it in your daily tech life. No extra effort, really.
Smart. And what about listening?
Daily listening. Crucial. Even just a few minutes. Make it a habit.
And they suggested different ways to do that.
Yeah. News, YouTube channels you actually find interesting, podcasts like this one, even motivational speakers, if that's your thing. Find something you want to listen to in English.
Makes sense. It shouldn't feel like a chore.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And it wasn't just passive listening either. The audio really pushed for active engagement, talking to people.
Right.
Practice, connect online.
Yeah.
Facebook groups, dedicated English clubs or communities. Find people to talk to. The American Academy's TikTok classes on Sundays got to mention free, accessible practice.
Okay, great resource. And standard tools came up too.
Oh, yeah. Duolingo, obviously, YouTube's huge.
Yeah.
For this specific English learning channels, the American English Platform for Teachers was mentioned. Lots out there.
And then there was this AI tool,
No.
Notebook LM.
Yeah, Notebook LM. That sounded fascinating. It's like an AI research assistant, notebooklm.google.com. You feed it your own sources, YouTube, links, PDFs, text files you paste in. And it doesn't just summarize them. It helps you understand the connections between them. You can ask it questions across all your sources. And relevant here, it can even help you create summaries or, like, a podcast script in English based only on the material you gave it.
Whoa. So you control the input it learns from.
Exactly. That's the key difference. It's not just pulling from the whole web. It's working with your specific documents and videos. Really powerful for focused learning, combining topics you care about with English practice.
That seems incredibly useful.
Yeah.
And one more simple technique mentioned, recording yourself.
Yep. Just record yourself speaking English. It sounds a bit awkward, maybe, but listening back helps you hear things you might miss otherwise. Pronunciation, sentence flow, good for tracking improvement.
Okay. Now, something else that jumped out was the whole topic of accents. English isn't just one thing, is it?
Not at all. The audio highlighted this really well. Think American, British, sure, but also Nigerian English, Ghanaian, South African, Indian English. The list goes on.
So many variations.
And the point was, they're all English. They're all valid. Learners need to be ready to encounter this diversity.
Right. You might work with someone with a very different accent. The speaker shared a story about working with Indian colleagues, I think.
Yeah, illustrating that communication works perfectly fine across different accents, even if they sound quite different initially. It comes back to understanding the message, not fixating on one correct accent.
Which ties back to the communication point. Makes sense. And inevitably, the old saying, practice makes perfect, came up.
Well, maybe not perfect, but definitely better. Consistent practice is just fundamental.
And you don't need to move to London or New York to do it.
Right.
Right. The audio talked about creating your own environment.
Absolutely. Your own English bubble, use the online connections, change device languages, watch movies, listen to music. You can immerse yourself pretty effectively wherever you are.
It seems doable. And the benefits go beyond just personal skills, too. English is a bridge.
Yeah, that image of a translator being a bridge between communities and cultures. It really captures how English can facilitate that cross-cultural understanding.
And open doors, professionally, global careers, fellowships. That Young African Videos Initiative was mentioned as an example.
Right. It can genuinely be a launch pad for international opportunities and impact.
And there was one last really interesting point about culture.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Using English to document and share African culture specifically.
Why that?
Well, the point raised was that there's maybe a lack of widely accessible, documented material about African cultures for a global audience. English, being so widespread, could be a powerful way to share that heritage, those stories, those traditions with the world.
It's actually a really powerful idea, using a global language to amplify local culture.
Exactly. The vehicle again, right.
Yeah.
Using English to carry something valuable to a wider destination.
Okay. So wrapping this deep dive up, the main message seems pretty clear. English, less of a school subject, more of a powerful tool.
Definitely. A tool to reach your goals, whatever they are. A tool to access this vast ocean of information. A tool to connect globally.
And the learning process should be driven by your purpose. And don't sweat the mistakes they mean you're learning.
Right. Focus on clear communication over impossible perfection.
So the final thought for you, listening right now, what's one specific thing, just one action you'll take this week based on all this to move forward with your English?
Maybe changing that phone language. Checking out Notebook LM. Finding one online group to join.
Think about that one step and maybe think bigger too.
Yeah.
What is your greater goal? How can English, this vehicle, help you get there?
Yeah. That's the real question to mull over. Where do you want this vehicle to take you?